Why, thank you, Mr. Buckus. All right, so here we go. Tulsa King, episode 4. I got all my notes here. Sorry about the last one. Was a little, still getting in the swing of things. All right, so this is called Visitation Place, and it's directed by Ben Seminoff and written by Dave Flabottle. I'm really enjoying so far. I'm enjoying this show for sure. I think Sylvester Stallone finally has he finally has a place where he can feel home. And on television, hey, we're getting great actors just doing quote unquote what they used to think were smaller roles, but the best storytelling is happening on cable. Some people have an issue with the show that it's not Goodfellas. If you want to watch Goodfellas, watch Goodfellas. This is just a piece of entertainment with Sylvester Stallone playing a mob guy, fish out of water, with a little bit of comedy. What more can you ask for? You know? Okay, so starring in this episode, we have Sylvester Stallone as Dwight the General Manfredi, Andrea Savage as Agent Stacy Beale, Max Casella as Armin Triossi, Martin Starr as Bodie. He's really good. Dominic Lombardozzi as Charlie Chicky Inverness, Vincent Piazza as Vince Anatacci, Jay Will as Tyson Mitchell, Garrett Hedlund as Mitch Keller, A.C. Peterson as Pete the Rock Inverness, and Dana Delaney as Margaret. All right. So, this episode, Visitation Place, Dwight awaits until Armin is alone and then question him. When Armin reveals, now remember, he was at his house, so he comes back the next day in the morning. Once everyone's out of the house, Dwight rolls up and basically gets Armin cornered in the kitchen, ready to kill him. When Armin reveals that the Inverness family tried to have him killed during his prison sentence, Dwight spares him and instead demands a monthly cut of his income. Dwight's plan to sell the nitrous hits a setback when black McAdam bikers who are selling drugs at the same festival beat up his crew and steal the gas tanks. To resolve the problem, Dwight and his men, accompanied by Mark, Tyson's father, surprise the bikers as they are packing up for the night, rough them up with baseball bats, and really kick some serious ass, and take back the tanks and their stolen money. Tyson and his father reconcile, but Tyson finds himself torn between his family and his loyalty to Dwight. Armin assaults a rude neighbor and decides not to move out of Tulsa. Stacy has sex with a handsome stranger who buys her a drink, a rando. Dwight, with the help of his sister Joan, says goodbye to his dying brother Joey. Okay, so here's some of my notes. Armin the shooter is looking at that damn dog shit in his yard again, from that guy from across the street, the jagoff neighbor. So the dog basically shits in his yard, and the guy, he's looking out there at the owner of the dog with his coffee, and basically gives him the finger and beeps the horn as a fuck you. So I'm sure that at some point will be handled. So he goes to get his stuff out of the trunk. That's when Dwight sneaks up on him and takes him into the house by gunpoint, and he's ready to have him whacked. And that's when he tells him about he thought Chicky sent him to kill him. Sylvester thought the same thing. And he said, no, total misunderstanding. So now Dwight basically says that Armin is back on his crew and he works for him, and he's got to, basically kick up $10,000 a week or something like that. So Dwight is now for sure the would-be consigliere. All the plans that run through him. He's kind of like the one guy who's not a goofball, but he plays guitar. So maybe that's it. Confrontation happens over the nitrous. Seems innocent enough. And Armin tells his wife about his prior life, and that doesn't go over well. But the bikers who failed, and they went back to like, yeah, man, these guys rolled up and took a shit, or whatever, blah, blah, blah. They're in our territory, and they didn't beat their ass and take everything and steal their money. So Mr. Biker President decides that the club should all beat their ass so they could learn a lesson. And that's how that happened. So Tyson and his dad getting in an argument. He gets Sylvester Stallone's character Dwight gets a call from his sisters, played by Annabella Sciorri. And she basically bitches him out for not being around for 25. The dude just got out of prison. Can you fucking crawl out of his ass for fucking 1 second? Jesus Christ. Anyway, so the bikers show up and a brawl ensues as Dwight's crew is selling nitrous at the music festival. And that fucking dog shows up again and takes a shit on Armin's front lawn, looking him right in the eye while he's doing it too. And, you know, that's, I don't think Armin can take much more of that. So Dwight calls his soon-to-be capo, Armand, asks if he wants in. There's a little thing that's going to happen because of the nitrous. And he said, yeah, of course, you know. And so he needs to burn a little bit of that extra bullshit energy he's got going. So he says yes. ATF picks up a random stranger, gets a piece of ass. The general assembles his troops. Tyson's dad shows up, and they have a little argument there. And Sylvester Stallone, hey, he's a man, he's not a boy. Hey, well, he works for me. Hey, what you doing? You got to make a choice. So you already did. You know. Anyway, that whole thing's, and Tyson looks to his dad. He's like, you know, how'd you find me here? And his dad came up with the best line. His response was, no, I just set my GPS for dumbass motherfucker. That's great as a parent. Probably relate. War, good God, y'all. What is played in the background as the ATF is getting laid, and Dwight and his crew are kicking ass with this crew. It's a nice, you know, peace and love type of, or war and love happening at the same time. You know, make love, not war, I guess. So they take back their goods, their cash, and their pride. Basically, Dwight gives Tyson the pinky ring that that he always wears as a token of his appreciation for his loyalty. And basically, Dwight talks and says goodbye to his brother Joe with the phone up to his ear as they recount a story from when they were kids, talking about this one guy they met who was dressed in white, who had a beard, who really wasn't God, but the kids thought he was because that's what they heard about. So that was a kind of interesting moment. Another meta, paranormal type of moment, but we'll see where that goes. You know, superstition, who knows? We'll see. Anyway, see you next episode. And remember, keep those antennas up.